there are craft, there are beings.
Okay, people have asked me about, I call them vehicles, okay?
Right.
Now, I did not call them objects. That was too neuter for me.
Okay.
I had a Stanford professor said you ought to call them objects. No. They have all of the qualities of a vehicle. They can move. You know, they're just like a missile or anything like that. So that much we can say about them, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm calling it a vehicle.
Okay.
Okay, somebody comes along and says, well, now where would you manufacture one that's 2.5 Earth lengths long? And that's a hard question to answer.
So are you not positing the idea that those vehicles contain, beings who are, maybe like us?
Yeah, I only go along with government images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard, and they have a picture there of I think it's the Apollo flight that Bugs and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off?
Not dark, black.
Black skin?
Really black, yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
well, what?
Say 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Have you heard about Clark McClellan's statement about that?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Have you ever been in touch with him?
No.
No?
There is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off?
Not dark, black.
Black skin?
Really black, yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
well, what?
Say 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem B'Chakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that preach this truth by the four corners of the globe, which can allow us freedom to do so. Shalom. All right, and Lord willing, you heard the video. Well, it was enough for you to pick up on. But basically, that was an interview. Okay, about I don't know who the two people were exactly, but it was an interview of a lady, interviewing an older man about basically the chariots, so-called UFOs, right, and how basically he got research or information with other scientists or archaeologists with different artifacts showing dark skin, very tall dark skinned men exiting out of those so-called UFOs, right? So this is to prove what? Scriptures, right? And this basically identifies us, okay, as the true people of the Heavenly Father, according to or whoever, Dr. Norman Bergen, an alumni research laboratorian, right, who works for NASA, basically, which this person is an Edomite, okay, and he looks very stressed throughout the interview. The lady, she looks very nervous and stressed throughout the interview.
Bergen states that black people are operating UFOs. And then it goes on to say, oh, Ezekiel's will. So that's exactly what we're about to touch upon, because this is biblical, you know what I mean?
This is Ezekiel chapter 1. We'll start at the top.
I'm gonna start at 3.
We'll start at verse 3.
No, start at 4.
Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 4. It says, "And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north."
Now this is the prophet Ezekiel, man. And we already know that the scriptures say that the Most High do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. So this is a prophet of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, saying what he saw. He said, I looked and beheld, meaning he saw.
It says a whirlwind came out of the north.
A whirlwind. So what is this whirlwind? It's about to describe what this whirlwind that the prophet Ezekiel did see.
It says a great cloud.
A great cloud. And I'll just jump to Psalms 104 and 3 and go right back to there. Because the scriptures refer to these clouds as chariots. And we know that a chariot in the Hebrew goes back to a vehicle, man. I can never pronounce the word.
Marakab, I believe. Salaki if I'm saying it wrong.
Marakab, but it goes into the vehicles, and those are the vehicles that the Heavenly Father rolls in, and the vehicles that the angels roll in.
This is Psalms chapter 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot.
Maketh the clouds his what?
The clouds his chariot.
Maketh the clouds his vehicles. You feel me? So these clouds and these chariots are what the world calls UFOs or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. But the Bible describes them as whirlwinds, chariots, clouds, a pillar of fire by day, and a cloud of smoke by night.
It says, verse 4, who maketh angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire.
So those angels ride in those chariots, man. Those angels ride in those UFOs. Those angels ride in those clouds. So we got to go back to Ezekiel.
Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 4, it says, And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, a fire enfolding itself.
So that's a key right there, a cloud. Then it says a fire enfolding itself. Have you ever saw a cloud turn into fire and enfold itself? No, but it's all types of videos showing these chariots looking like fire. I got one on my phone right now that I captured myself. Fire enfolding itself in the skies at nighttime.
Mm-hmm. It says, and a brightness was round about it. Right? Because those chariots, it holds different elements that's out of this world. Right? Different lights, different, like I said, different elements that create those lights. You know, so therefore that brightness is going to have an aura about all around the chariot. It says, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Right? Which that was the color of the chariot. All right, that's Ezekiel explain the chariot which he saw. Verse 5, it says, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance, which these 4 living creatures are angels. Okay, and these angels that Ezekiel was seeing, he's about to describe what they look like. It said they had the likeness of a man. Right? Which means what? They had
arms, legs.
Right. It say verse 6, and everyone had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
Now everyone knows what burnished brass looks like, man. Burnished brass is dark. You could Google burnished brass right now. I would do it now and show y'all, but this phone be cutting off and be acting funny. So if you're serious about this, take your time and Google and look up burnished brass, because the man said that they were very tall black men that got out of these ships, man. And that's exactly what Ezekiel is going in on right now. This is the same exact thing, man. He said he saw tall black people getting out of ships. And that's what this is going into. It's describing the ships and it's describing the 4 black burnished brass creatures that got out of these ships.
I got that Zechariah. All right, this is I'm going into chariots. This is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "Then I turned and looked, lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll," which that flying roll is another name for a chariot. You know, brother went into the word cloud. When he brought the precept out in Psalms, how the scriptures also refer to chariots as clouds, well, the scriptures also refer to them as a roll, you know, a flying roll. Verse 2, "And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I say, a flying roll."
Oh, and a side note, these scriptures was written thousands of years ago. Now, we know about the Wright brothers because we from Ohio, the home of navigation. Now, things didn't start flying until the early 1900s. That's like a couple hundred years ago. So what were these flying rolls that the prophets saw? Something flying. You could look on ancient pictures and you see things in the sky that people drew because it was something flying, a flying roll, talking about these unidentified flying objects that we know as chariots.
It says, And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. All right, which that's the measurement of the chariots being very big. Right? It says verse 3.
Because in this video, he said that they got pictures of these things. Go back and listen to it again. It says that they actually have evidence and pictures of black men getting out of gigantic ships that were, I think he said, 2 to 3 sizes of the earth.
It says, verse 3, "Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth."
Now that's why people be seeing so-called UFOs, because they go back and forth over the face of the earth. So when people say, "Oh, I saw UFOs," and then the government coming out saying that the UFOs or the UAPs are real, think about it. Why would the American government spend all this money on another branch of the military? They got a space force. What you think the space force is for, man? To fight against the angels and Yahweh Shai when he comes back, man.
Yeah, and they might spend a whole bunch of money on these different archaeologists, sending them out here to get that research. You know what I'm saying? To get different artifacts. You know, it's a this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Right? When we go to the word curse, it means a plague. So these chariots is going to be a plague unto the earth. That's why when most people see chariots, they get scared. They get frightened. They don't understand. They don't know what's inside the chariots, you know. Because first and foremost, this is going to be a curse that the Lord is going to send into the earth, but it's going to be a blessing for other elect. It say, "For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it." And Esau Edom, first and foremost, he stole a whole nation of people in their heritage, in their land. So the judgment is going to be, that curse is going to be into Esau Edom first and foremost. These chariots, right? Because Esau Edom, he going to go to war with these chariots. That's the whole point he set up the Space Force, the brother was just going into.
when you go into the book of Revelation, the 19th chapter, you can start, I think, at like 15 or 16 and read down. It was a war in heaven. And that war is Yahweh Shai fighting against Esau and his Space Force, man. And then you can go to Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, and start at the top and read down, and it goes into the same thing. Because the prophet Ezra saw the same thing as John saw. And these great prophets were not even on the earth at the same time. So when people try to denounce the Bible and the understanding of the scriptures, it's like really impossible, man. The same visions from people who wasn't even on the earth at the same time. Come on now.
Yeah, I got a quick precept. This Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds." See, and we just brought out the precept in Psalms, how the Lord maketh his clouds his chariots. So when it say he coming back with clouds, that means the Lord gonna come back with many chariots.
After you get that, get Isaiah 66.
It says, "And every eye shall see him." Right? So everybody on the whole face of the earth is going to witness the coming back of Yahushua. It's his second coming. Right? He actually the invasion. Because when the Lord comes back the second time, what he's going to do? He's going to go to war and take over these other nations. All right? It says, "And they also which pierced him," which goes into what? Reincarnation. That same generation, all right, who was here on earth that crucified Yahushua, those Romans, even those Jews who persecuted Yahushua, they're still here today that have been reincarnated into this generation to witness Yahushua come back and to receive that judgment. It says, all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so Amen. Right? And they're going to wail and weep because the kindreds of the earth, the majority of the earth, is going to receive a heavy judgment from Yahushua. They're going to recognize their sins. They're going to recognize that everything they've been living is a lie, right? That Christianity, JC, that the Lord is actually an austere man, that he's a brown-skinned, dark-skinned man, right? And the chariots is real. So going back in Zechariah, oh, no, you said, yeah.
Isaiah 66.
Isaiah 66. It's Isaiah 66.
This is about to put the icing in the cake and bring it back full circle. Because we read that Yahweh Shai is coming with clouds, right? We read that the clouds is the vehicles. Now it's about to tell you that they the chariots because he's coming back with clouds, right?
It's Isaiah chapter 66, verse 6.
15.
Oh, Slaki. Verse 15, it says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind."
And with his what?
His chariots like a whirlwind.
Now, ain't that what the prophet Ezekiel said? He saw a whirlwind coming out of the north. So he coming back with his chariots, those so-called UFOs, like a whirlwind. What is he coming back to do, though?
To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Oh, so he angry and he coming back to rebuke people with what?
Flames of fire.
With flames of fire. So those chariots gonna be shooting out flames of fire. Concentrated laser beams, man. Taking people's heads off like in these movies that the Jewish people make, that they say they got they inspiration for these movies from where? From the scriptures, man.
It says, verse 16, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh."
So he go judge all flesh with this fire and with this recompense that's coming from another dominion. The scriptures say that the day of something is burning in his heart. The day of vengeance is burning in his heart, man. So he can't wait to come back with the host, all the holy angels, the elders and the apostles. Say it's gonna be overkill because he say he gonna let loose all the angels and all the chariots to come invade this earth, man. One angel could destroy the earth by itself. So think about thousands upon thousands. The scriptures say 10,000 times 10,000 of angels is coming.
It says, "And the slain of the Lord shall be many."
And the slain of the Lord shall be many, man. When you go to Jeremiah 25:33, it say, at that day the slain of the Lord shall be from one end of the earth even to the other, man. So these gigantic angels and Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is coming back with the same thing that Ezekiel saw, the same thing that Zechariah saw, the same thing that Ezra saw. When you go to the book of, I think it's Samuel's or Kings, the same thing that Elijah got caught up in, the whirlwind, and took away. The same as Lot, man. The same as the elect, man. When you read Second Thessalonians, the 4th chapter, it says that we will be caught up in the air with Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and we will be changed, given new bodies, man. You got something else?
Oh no, I just was going to close out
Okay.
with Zechariah 5:4. It says, "I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief."
And we know the thief is Esau, Edom.
Right, and the house of Esau, Edom is America. It says, "And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof." Meaning those chariots is going to literally shoot out concentrated fire, right? Elements out of this world to destroy this place, man. To destroy America. That is going to be a desert to inherit doleful creatures, never to be inhabited no more, man.
And that's the judgment for wickedness, man, because we know the earth was given to the hand of the wicked, and Esau is the wicked. So the judgment is coming, man. Be prepared. So with that, we will give all praise, all honor, and all infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Brakakadash. Double honors once again to the elders. Peace, love, and blessings to all the brothers, all the Akim that's pushing this truth. Stand faithful, stand on their watch until Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai come. Shalom.